Welcome back everyone. Time to do another camera comparison this time around between the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone XR. Now the iPhone XR came out a while ago and I'm pretty sure everyone already knows what that phone is. It has a single 12 megapixel wide angle lens on the back, where the iPhone 12 Pro actually has a triple camera setup with that LiDAR sensor, which I'm sure a lot of people may prefer. And I'll definitely tell you, if you have all the money in the world, getting the iPhone 12 Pro camera is the better one. But how much better is it? Well, let's go and find out. Now for this whole entire video, the iPhone XR photos and videos will be on the left, the 12 Pro photos and videos will be on the right. And looking at this first photo, you can already see most of the differences, honestly. I mean, the 12 Pro has done a really good job for the most part at kind of not overblowing, but really kind of leveling out the colors and filtering properly. This looks more like a punchier photo than this one, in my opinion. And in these outdoor photos, I was expecting to see less of a difference, but this is pretty obvious. The bokeh effect also seems better on the iPhone 12 Pro, but even zooming out, you can definitely see how much better of a photo the iPhone 12 Pro looks than the iPhone XR. But if you filter out this photo, I'm sure it will still look pretty good. And even with this photo, I mean, I let them autofocus again. They were taking out really different focus points and everything. I'm sorry about that. But if you just look at the colors, for example, just look how much better the colors look on the iPhone 12 Pro yet again. This photo looks like a proper photo, including like the background colors. And if you're not, comparing them side by side, maybe you won't notice that big of a difference. But you can definitely see that the colors on the iPhone 12 Pro far outweigh the colors on the iPhone XR, even in these outdoor photos. And this is another case, but it's kind of funny because they kind of flip-flopped. From the first glance, I would assume that the colors kind of pop out a little bit more on the iPhone XR. And even when I zoom in, that still kind of seems to be the case. I think the iPhone 12 Pro did a better job, again, at leveling out the colors. So you can see they look a little bit brighter here, but I feel like with these leaves, they actually do look a little bit better on the iPhone XR. I still think that the overall photo looks better on the iPhone 12 Pro, even when you look up here. Again, Apple did a really good job with the 10R camera at that time and really kind of managing out these colors. Still look really good. But between both, with this photo, both look actually pretty good. Maybe even the 10R look, I wouldn't say better. If you look at the leaves again, you can see that the iPhone 12 Pro kind of brightened out those leaves, which I kind of like. Now with this photo, I stood at the same spot and just zoomed in as much as I could, and look how much you can zoom in more on the iPhone 12 Pro than on the iPhone XR. And that may be a big deal to you if you're going to a lot of places and you need to zoom into a lot of photo. Look how much more you can zoom in on the iPhone 12 Pro than on the iPhone XR, and that's a pretty big difference in my opinion. But on the flip side, look how much you can zoom out more on the iPhone 12 Pro, taking at the exact same places, everything like that. And forget about the quality and everything. Look how much more you're able to get into a photo on the iPhone 12 Pro than on the iPhone XR. And if you're somebody who needs to take a lot of like ultra-wide photos, you're definitely going to be getting a better experience on the iPhone 12 Pro than on the iPhone XR, in my opinion. Went ahead and used portrait mode on both phones, and look how much better the portrait mode was on the iPhone 12 Pro than on the iPhone XR. You can't even use portrait mode on animals on the XR, which is so weird because I got it working on my 7 Plus. Portrait mode on the iPhone 12 Pro far outweighed what you can do on the iPhone XR. So, I mean, it just worked on the iPhone 12 Pro. It did not work on the iPhone XR, which is very weird. And this was just a photo that I really butchered on the iPhone 12 Pro. But if I go and zoom in kind of in the same place, you can still kind of see that I think both photos look pretty good. The 12 Pro didn't really focus in on exactly where I wanted to focus in on, but that's really no blame to this camera. I think the 12 Pro probably did a better job, but the 10R still looked really good too. Now this was an indoor photo. Surprisingly, they both look pretty much the same. Again, not too many crazy differences. I think the 12 Pro photo really looks much better, and it looks much sharper in my opinion too. And the next several photos were all taken inside, and you can see that again, this is so obvious. Look how much better the iPhone 12 Pro photo looks and how much more livelier and just more lit it looks than the iPhone XR. It looks much more duller, it looks much more darker, and I definitely between these two, the iPhone XR doesn't look quite as good as the 12 Pro. And I think with indoor lighting, it definitely doesn't do so well. The iPhone XR does not have night mode, the iPhone 12 Pro does, and look how much better this color looks like on the iPhone 12 Pro as well. Again, when you're going side by side, maybe you can see some differences here, but forget about the quality, look at the brightness. I didn't have to go in and like change the brightness of the photo or anything like that. And that was another huge asset for this device. And even with this photo, I mean, look at it, just so much more brighter on the iPhone 12 Pro than on the iPhone XR. I can even barely see this Apple logo, and there's so much more noise and so much more graininess on the iPhone XR. But when you look at the 12 Pro, look how much more crispier this photo looks in my opinion. Now, this is a pretty big difference, and I'll go ahead and show the video and audio quality test that I just showed before in other videos, and I'll go and show it now. Okay, now we're comparing the audio quality and video quality between the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone XR. And right out the gate, I can't tell over the screen if there's a big difference in video quality or audio quality for that matter. But I'll go ahead and use the iPhone XR's built-in camera right now and see if there's a difference. And I'm talking, you know, there's a little bit of white noise in the background, so maybe there's a difference. And I'll go ahead and switch over to the iPhone 12 Pro's built-in microphone. Now, hopefully there is a difference because Apple has stated pretty much they've been putting in studio quality mics in a lot of their devices. I don't know if these ones got it, they didn't, you know, really say it. But now I'll kind of just go ahead and keep using the 12 Pro's camera, switching on and off. I'll go ahead and shake these around a little bit to see the optical image stabilization. And just straight off from this, the 12 Pro does look actually better, but I'm not too sure which one looks better in the post-processing. Both can do 4K at 60. Both have kind of different front-facing cameras. The 4K at 60 on the front camera, the 12 Pro. The iPhone XR can only do 1080p. So let's see if there's a difference. Now that we're back, I can pretty much tell you that the iPhone XR camera, I think actually is pretty decent still. And if you know a little bit about color grading or filtering your photos, then that can actually probably do just as much as the 12 Pro can do, honestly. But on stock, without having to modify or anything like that, the 12 Pro photo is definitely looking better, and the 12 Pro videos look better too. So that's a pretty big difference. If you have the XR, I'll say keep it. It's definitely still a decent camera, but you do have a lot more capability on the 12 Pro, the ultra wide sensor, all those different things, the front camera improvements. Like, there's still a lot there on the 12 Pro as well, and it's a pretty big upgrade coming from the XR. So that really pretty much covers it up for the most part. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much. But definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count. So it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.